Hey everybody, Purple for the Ages coming at you from my primary location. How are you doing today? I wanted to talk a little bit more about the supply chain crisis. It all comes down to what's really going on. And I don't think it's a supply chain crisis as much as the supply chain over the years has gotten so complex and so little investment has gone on into it that it is broken down. Yes, there's containers full of goods out at sea. They're in the ports, and they're stuck in the ports because they don't have the things, and they don't have the chassis, and they don't have the people to go back and forth. It's broken down. It's broken. And right now they're blaming everything under the sun, including high demand. And I'm not quite sure that high demand and low supply is really what we're looking at for increases in everything. It's more in day to day, everybody I've talked to, it is more about the cost of what we get every day for necessities. That is going up. And the things that we used to blow our money on as consumers, and it's just the greedy economy and just, oh, buy, 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 we're not buying anymore. We're not buying, we're not impulse buying. We're not doing a lot of that. We're making conscious choices of what we spend our money on now. And that is a bit of a change in the American psyche, in the world psyche too. Everybody is used to doing mindless consumer spending, and we're really not. And nobody I've talked to a lot of people, and they're not mindless consumer spending. It's not in the cards anymore. And that's a lot of the worry that people are feeling in the backs of their minds. It's not an bottomless, it's not a bottomless, what is it? Bottomless, I don't know, how do you explain it? It's not a bottomless well of wealth, or you're not, the check next week or next month or next year may not be coming, so you need to prepare it and put back if you can, if you're not living week to week, or or one accident away from being destitute. So I think it's a little bit more than, oh, it's just a supply chain snafu. It will recover after Christmas. Oh, there's stuff in the stores. Oh, well, the stores are hoarding because they pre-ordered everything. I just think that it's not something that is gonna go away in any time soon. It's you and I both know. Yeah, you and I, if you're on this channel, know that the odds are that this is a long-term snafu instead of a short-term snafu. I think that, I don't know if it's a little bit of Dunning-Kruger. The people that were in charge of all the supply chain stuff either retired or aged out or got sick of it and quit, and the new people thought that this is easy, and it's a very complex, and over the last months, we as the people have gotten educated on all of the different things that could go wrong in the supply chain and all of the different things that went wrong in the supply chain. So let me posit to you, my educated viewers, that it's more than a snafu. Basically, it's a breakdown. And it has to do with the economy. It has to do with our situations, financial or otherwise. And it's less having to do with, we have a high demand for disposable income goods. So we don't have a lot of disposable income these days. It is more about necessities and making good judgments and good decisions in our purchases, and making our shrinking paychecks and our increased prices on goods, making all a conscious choice on where to spend our money, whether it's a dollar or whether it's a British pound or whether it's it doesn't matter. And I think a lot of it is a world economy. A lot of people for a very long time wanted to not have country economies. They wanted to have a world economy. Well, you see what happened with the United States electric grid. There's only three grids. There's a West grid, East grid, and Texas grid. You saw what happens when one grid goes down. One piece goes down. The entire Texas grid went down. Imagine if that one grid was worldwide. So one big thing happens and the whole grid worldwide goes down. Well, I think doing making a world economy has created a single point of failure in that we're experiencing that now, and it's only going to get worse because the whole system is so complex that no one solution will be a solution. It would be almost impossible to pick up the pieces because we're having kind of a cascading failure. Now, whether it is a ship stuck in the Suez Canal or our what is it? What is that? Price wars, our tax wars, our tariff wars with China and all these different countries over the last few years, and then and then trying to recover, and China slow walking goods to get to the boats, and there are issues with the economy, and there are issues with not using coal, trying to get their companies off coal, so the company shut down because the power is out because they're powered by coal, and it's a whole bunch of cascading failures. It's just not the truckers. Oh, we need the truckers. Well, the truckers are being forced out, high turnover with truckers because they're realizing they're getting into the game, they're realizing that it's not enough money to live on, and then they're getting out again. Or, yeah, well, we have the crates coming off the ship, but we don't have the chassis to go on because all of the crates are waiting, and the crates can't come in because the other crates being offloaded are taking up the entire port, but meanwhile the empty crates have chassis under it. Ad nauseum. So let me posit to you more of a logical thought that the system is broken. The system is so complex, fixing one or two components in one or two places is not going to put Humpty Dumpty back together again. So I would say long term, this is going to be a long term thing. And yeah, as preppers, we've prepped for it, but it's very painful for politicians to admit because, politics 101, is that you don't admit when something is going this bad. It's just, oh, it's temporary. But, politicians, the person admitting that things have gone wrong aren't going to get reelected. Those people are not going to get reelected. So nobody is, ringing the klaxon or telling it as it is because it's not in their best interest. So it's up to us in our best interest to accommodate, to acknowledge, and to see where things are and plan our next move. So I guess that's my advice, thought. So what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. So, hey, if you like my channel, please click the like button and subscribe for more tips, tricks, and stories about prepping and prepping for the elderly and differently abled. Okay, Prepper for the Ages signing out for now.